You are watching Sipping Off the Cuff on TequilaAficionado.com. I'm Alex Perez.
I'm Mike Morales. You can see I've got the headset on, so we're trying to eliminate the reverb. Now I really feel like I'm in the cockpit of Tequila Aficionado here in San Antonio. You're at the Area 51 in Southern California,
Yes,
and
you should be used to those since you were in
yeah,
radio.
yes. Well, I'm used to my old headset, which I have in storage, but in an emergency, these little ones are great. And that I'll try to tone it down so I'm not like blowing people's speakers and stuff like that, because that's what I do. What do we got
What's
tonight?
on the menu?
Well, you're looking at it. It is, this has been a tequila in the making for a while. Maestro Dobel. Mira, see, Maestro Dobel.
Dobel.
I will be honest with you, Alex. I've had this tequila before when it first came out. It was at that time. I think it was anywhere between uh, I believe it was close to an $80 bottle of tequila, and it was a much heavier bottle. It had a thicker base, and you know what? You were showing me off camera
It is.
the
It is a pretty heavy bottle. Pretty
yeah.
heavy.
This is still heavy, but it was even heavier. I used to call it the Arnold Schwarzenegger of tequila bottles because it would look like the Terminator. And you can see that it's got like a you have to unscrew it with a with a big screwdriver. Um, it's had several different marketing uh, problems. The bottle is completely different. Now you said that this is it's a combination, correct?
Yes, it's extra añejo, and reposado. It's a blend of the three.
Right. And then they filter out the color. And it was the first tequila to do that. We
Yes.
have a Don Julio 70. I believe that Luna Azul, which will be sending us samples here shortly, they have a claro or clear. It was a gimmicky tequila. It was an $80 bottle. Nobody was touching it. And then at one point, when I was still living in New Mexico, they were clearing this out. They were selling the bottles for $20. So the price has been reduced. The bottle is lighter now because it was a heavier bottle. I don't have it with me. I have it in storage, but it's one of my collector pieces that I have. Um, and because I've had it before, I think this is going to be interesting because we're finally putting it through the Tequila Aficionado gauntlet. What do you think of the color so far, though, Alex? It's kind of a pale, kind of dull, isn't it?
Um, it's it's not bright. It's
It's
not
not
really.
shiny. It's not
It's not
shiny.
shiny. Yeah. And obviously it doesn't have what you expect in a añejo, because obviously the color has been filtered out.
Right. They do that with rums. It was, I know that in the rum industry they will take a 4-year-old or whatever and they'll strip it. I know Flor de Caña, for instance, has a 4-year-old that's aged and then they strip the color. Um, and this is like from their patented filtering, which I guess they filter it through diamonds or something. Technically, this is considered a reposado. It says so right there on the bottom of the label, but they call it a diamond. Um,
I guess it's just their marketing name.
oh, Alex, they have done such awful, awful marketing. At one point, they were competing against Avion when Avion was making a big push, and they would buy competing page ads in the Wall Street Journal. On one side was Avion, on the other side was Maestro Dobel, and I gotta tell you, Dobel's marketing fell flat. They made up these stories about they wanted it about this character who had traveled the world, like the most interesting man in the world,
Oh,
that kind of thing.
Dos Equis stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But
It's got a nice nose,
it's light. It's a light nose.
a lot of citrusy on the nose. limes.
Yeah. Hey, the price of limes is coming down.
Yeah, I can finally find some.
I know. NPR did an article on the lime crisis and how I guess the cartel is completely out of the lime industry now because they've caught all the big guys, and so the farmers are really happy because now they get to keep most of the money. So who knew, right?
All right, well, it's got a nice nose.
Yeah, it's got pretty legs. I mean, it has all the characteristics of a nice tequila. Um,
Now, do you get any? I can smell some wood tones in there.
I don't get any.
Just very, very light.
And what's interesting to me is that what's going on with this tequila right now is, Alex, I got to tell you because I've had it before and I had it when it first launched. When it first launched, there were more wood notes in the tequila, and it tasted more like an añejo or like a strong reposado. And this is not the same juice.
Mm.
I'm willing to tell you right now, this is not how it launched. This is a different tequila. Um,
So you
I,
think they might have softened it a little bit for the market?
I think what happened was it got because it was so they were so far ahead of their time that they got that Dobel Jose Domingo, I think is his name. He's the son. This is his line, his tequila. I think what happened was he was so far ahead of his time that he got a lot of flack and a lot of backlash, and people weren't accepting, number one, the price of the tequila, so they had to justify. I think that's what when they rebranded, they put all the lettering on the bottle. You see how the bottle's molded. We can see it on your screen there. And they didn't have any of that. They had more of a agave design at the bottom. Some folks, some of our listeners and viewers may have the old bottle like I do. And the flavor profile was much more in the añejo slant. And I got to tell you, I took what I had to a party, and it went over fantastically. I was really shocked because nobody had ever seen this. And I will be honest, I like the old juice. I'm not too fond of what I see here because now they're just kind of like every other tequila out there. I mean, I like the citrus notes. Don't get me wrong. I like the citrus notes, but when I compare this to the old juice, it isn't the same. It has changed.
It'd be interesting to find out why they made that change.
What do you get on the palate?
A little bit more of this.
Sorry, I'm using the spit bucket because it's part of our job. I get a little bit more alcohol than maybe I'd like.
I don't get a lot of what I would expect in extra añejo blend. But
Yeah, uh,
it almost lays flat to me when it comes to that.
it doesn't deliver on the nose, because the nose is really pleasant.
It is.
It's a pleasant citrusy nose. Certainly it'll be great in cocktails. Great in your palomas, great in your margaritas, anything you want to experiment with. I'm not sure if they're. I don't know if they're using the diffuser on this. This is a Cuervo product, by the way. If you're not aware, Maestro Dobel is a Jose Cuervo product. Um, but like I say, you would have. I wish I had a bottle of some of the old juice because the old juice compared to this, night and day. This leans more toward the Blanco side of the category, you know. But the old juice was really more woodsy, and you could smell it. It was on the nose too.
Now, what time? More or less? What year was that?
Ah,
Talking 50
gosh.
ago.
I'd have to track it down. I don't know if it was somewhere between 2002, maybe 2006, maybe 2007, somewhere along there. I could be a little bit early. This is a 2012 version. I mean, obviously these are signed by Dobel, and they give you the batch number right there. The presentation is beautiful. It looks like it looks like this neck tag looks like it belongs on a sweater. It looks like it belongs on clothing. It's a sharp look. They kept very much to what it was originally, but the juice is completely different. And I'm not even sure the website. We can't get into it right now. It's either down or not operating. So I don't know if that means anything. They are they are the official sponsor to Lollapalooza. What's that?
It might be your computer.
No, are you in? Can you get in?
I was able to get in. Maybe you're underage. You can't get in the website.
I don't know. I have no idea. I clicked from Facebook, so they have a Facebook page. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They're everywhere. But the flavor notes on this, there's not much in the way of flavor notes. It just tells you what it is, and how they have they have two master distillers, Marco Anguiano and Luis Llerenas are their master distillers. And it's supposedly handcrafted product produced in small batches, aged in new oak casks from southern Europe. The agave we use is grown from 8 to 10 years and then hand selected at one of the small number of our family's best quality producing ranches. Last time we were at Jose Cuervo, they have what they consider 7 zones. So they have like maybe 7 ranches that they pull from. What do you think, Alex? I mean, is this right now? I think it's worth the $20, anywhere from 20 to 25, depending on where you live. I don't think it was.
For now, I saw it here for 50 something.
Oh, even less expensive. They're trying to attract the younger crowd. I think that's the other reason why they changed flavor profiles.
It's really interesting to track down an older bottle and compare it to this.
Yeah, if anybody has an older bottle of juice that they want to get rid of, or maybe we should start looking for older bottles in local liquor stores. I really believe that compare it to the new juice, you're going to enjoy the older stuff better. But I'm not sure if you're going to pay the same price. And if you can get it for 15 to 20, 25, I would buy the old juice myself. And you'll recognize it because it looks completely different from this bottle. The only thing, no, the color is just about the same. It's kind of a pale, like a dull white, a dull, they call it clear claro, but it's dull. It's not bright and shiny like some blancos. But if my recommendation, look for the old juice if you got it. I know it was quirky. I know it was sketchy. It was marketing and all that, but it's way better than this. However, their new market, is obviously going to the younger crowd, and I think they've achieved that. So, what can I tell you?
Well, I think it might be good for that crowd to sip. I don't know if you necessarily. What is the price point on this? You said it's in the $20 range right now.
Well, you said you saw it at 15, right?
No, 50, 50.
Oh, 50? No, not that I remember. When right before I left Albuquerque when I left New Mexico, they were clearing these things out for $20 a bottle. They couldn't keep it in stock. They just
we're tasting now.
Yeah. If it's for $50, I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't pay for it. There are way better tequilas out there at $50 than this one. Then it still becomes gimmicky. Um, I It's interesting that you found it for 50 because if it's for 50, you might want to check to make sure it's still the same juice.
Bevo has it regular price $47.99, a club price $34.99. Bevo.
You know what? I'm not sold, and that's my own personal opinion. Uh,
First diamond tequila.
and what does that mean, Alex? Is it official? Is diamond an official category for the from the CRT?
They're married in new Balkan oak barrels. What part of Europe did you say?
Eastern Europe is what they said. Yeah,
Romania somewhere.
I don't know. It's then why don't we just call it Dracula tequila? And it's made from barrels, made from old coffins in Transylvania. I don't know. All I can tell you is that's my view. I think your money is better spent. Um, I don't know. I'm still I honestly prefer the older juice myself, and that's my own personal opinion because I've had it before. You haven't. If you find one, like I said, if you find it, it would be worth. I think at the old juice it would be worth 50, 40, $50 to try because it really captured what I think the original intention of Juan Dobel was, but they had to get away from that. I production costs. I think
Expensive, exactly.
yeah, I think production costs were very high at that point. And it was an expensive experiment that has been salvaged. Like I say, they're the largest tequila sponsor for Lollapalooza. Um, there's going to be a lot of people chugging this tequila, but I wouldn't. Yeah, that's just my view, and that's our view of tequila. What do you think?
I think the same. There are so many brands out there. I personally think for $34, $35, buy a bottle, see what you think. Everyone's palate is different. I think Mike's and my palate are different. Um, but really, it's your palate is what counts. So why not buy it, try it?
Hey, it's a buy it and try it. Like I say, at worst you have a great margarita tequila. You know, because
There you go.
there you go. But I'm Mike Morales.
I'm Alex Perez. You've been watching Sipping Off the Cuff on tequilaaficionado.com. And as always, sip wisely.